Hey everybody, Lisa Haverly here, Nature Superhero Network, part 2 of Wonderment. And so I had another aha moment that I would like to share with you. So we are occupational therapists. Well, most of us in this group are, and if you're not, that's okay too. Sometimes in different professions, we have threads of similarities. And so I'd love to hear what you think about this. So part 2, Wonderment. And how does that relate to clinical reasoning? And so I am taking, for the second time, Tracy Stackhouse's course, the Spirit course, as I continually try to work on my clinical reasoning skills. But when I think about, and there's definitions for clinical reasoning, take her course and you can find out what those are. But I think about it much like I think about being curious about what's happening for this client, what's happening for this child, right? And that leads me to wonderment, right? Wondering, what is my next step? How do I connect all the dots? What's my starting point for intervention? What's my window in? Which I'm still always trying to figure out. But that is what another part of wonderment is in our OT profession. And then you couple that with taking your work outdoors as I think about how do I work on postural control in a nature-based setting. And so wonderment can also be, in addition to watching a majestic mountain rise up into the sky, right? Or a beautiful rainbow that appears after a rainstorm. We can also see wonderment in being curious. And I think it's when we lose that sense of curiosity that we need to do some reflection. And I think sometimes when we are in settings where we are feeling burned out, or we are questioning whether something could be done differently, or we start having this nudge of, man, if I could do it my way, it would look like this. Or, you know, if we stop questioning or we stop being curious, I think that's a moment in time that we need to be asking why. Why are we no longer curious? And I know that some of you are here because maybe you are burned out, or you're maybe even wanting to reinvent yourself in a more traditional setting, thinking about how can I bring nature in? How can I honor nature? How can I cultivate a nature connection so that those that we serve, and I'm speaking more of children, but it really is across the lifespan, so people can connect with nature for health and well-being, for meaningful occupation. We live in a world now where mental health is challenges, even illness is so significant, and I know you know this. But we need to think bigger and how we can have a bigger reach in supporting people and being more curious and bringing in wonderment and zest and that real sense of what am I here to do back into their life. And that is why OTs focus on meaningful occupation, where there's no other profession really doing that, and how we can do that through leisure activities in nature, how we can do that through play and playfulness in nature. Nature really is a beautiful environment to work on skills, to determine what additional meaningful occupations could be found in that environment. So anyway, back to my original statement about clinical reasoning and wonderment. That's a connection. And that too in my professional world is what keeps me moving forward. That sense of curiosity and wonderment about what's happening for this person and how might I be of service to that person, to journey with them, to support them in finding meaningful occupation or finding ways to engage or to increase their participation. So thoughts and comments below would be welcome. I hope to see you down the road. Thanks so much for listening.